Hey guys, welcome back to Grafting Dragon Fruit. It's Richard, and in this video today, I'm gonna be talking about 5 things I do to help maintain growth with my dragon fruit using Fox Farm soil. So you guys are ready? Let's go. If you guys been following my journey ever since the beginning, ever since I started grafting dragon fruit, I've chosen Fox Farm ocean forest soil as my medium for growing dragon fruit. And the reason for this was when I started growing dragon fruit, it was very new to me. I was just going with what I thought was best, and there wasn't that many dragon fruit info out there. So that's why I created this channel, so that way I can show you guys my whole experience, my journey, and what I've learned along the way. So actually using Fox Farm Ocean Forest, I thought it was a good idea because it was really good organic soil. But with all the experience I have now and with all the other dragon fruit growers that are out there experimenting as well, we share this information with each other to find out that organic soil or pure organic soil isn't necessarily good for the roots of the dragon fruits. So what happens over time with organic soil is they decompress because organic matter will decompose. So what happens is you're gonna start with a full pot of soil, a Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil, and over time, wind, nature, and just the organic matter in there, they start to decompose and it will start to smush down. And what happens to the roots when that happens? They get compressed and become very stuck inside the soil. And all of this root just gets very compact in there. So I didn't know that when I started growing dragon fruit. I just learn as I go, and with all the information that I learn, I always come make videos so that way you guys can learn with me. And if we made that mistake, then we made it all together, but it's okay. We're gonna find ways to go around it. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do to maintain them to be happy, because as you can see, these pots still have a Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil in there, but they're still fruitful, they still grow, but these are the things that I do to keep them doing that, okay? So we're gonna jump right into it. The first thing I do is keeping the soil aerated. So over time, like I just told you guys, it gets decompressed in there, and all of the soil now is so compact that the roots are kind of like almost suffocating. So I have this garden pick here, and you guys want to be very gentle while you guys doing this. You don't want to rip these roots, more of just kind of like adding holes in there, so that way it aerates your soil. So this is how I do it. Get something like this, and you're just gonna slowly poke it in there like that. So I'm just gonna do this side, and I'm gonna show you guys one side of why I do this. As I'm picking it down, I can feel the resistance of going down there because the roots now are just so compacted in there. But as I'm doing this, it's starting to loosen up the soil. So as you see, I'm not going in there to pull left or up or down. I'm going straight in and out. All right, so here is the part that I just did. Just look at how aerated that just got, guys. I just broke up all of that compact soil, and now it's gonna start aerating the roots so they can start breathing. If you guys check over here, you guys can't really do that. Just look at my finger. I can't even push it down. So you know that this is so compact, it's gonna be hard for water to penetrate through, air to come through, and in return, it's not gonna aerate the soil. So we're just gonna go ahead and finish this up. And just do like this. Use your garden pick and just take your time. Come out here when it's sundown so you're not burning in the heat. And then just enjoy the therapeutic of recovering your dragon fruit soil. So now that I've gotten it to loosen up, let me show you guys. Just check that out, you guys. It's nice and loose. I can stick my finger in here now, it's not a problem, and it's ready. So that's number 1, you guys, aerate your soil. The second thing I do is keeping a fertilizing routine on lock. So you're gonna want to add some organic fertilizer in there, and depending what phase your dragon fruit is in, you're gonna choose what type of fertilizer to use. I like using organic fertilizer. It just keeps the pots filled with nutrients, and I do this every 2 weeks because it's gonna take time for the organic fertilizer to break down and make the nutrients readily for the roots to absorb. So in this phase here, as you guys can see, I have a lot of fruits, buds, flowers. They're in the flowering phase. So we're gonna use Dr. Earth Organic Flower Bud and Bloom Booster. And this is the Flower Girl brand. And all I do is get 1 scoop of this. This is about 2 cups here, you guys. You can use 1 cup, but since it's organic fertilizer, it's really hard to over-nute them, and it takes time to break down. So the nutrients or the fertilizer doesn't just go straight into the roots right away. So after you guys already aerate your soil, it's nice and loose. Now it's a great time to add your fertilizer. So you're just gonna add all that to the top, just like that. You're gonna take your hand and just mix it onto the top. So over time, you guys, all of the organic matter in here is gonna deplete. There's not gonna be any more nutrients in here, and that's a lot. And a lot of time people think, well, I'm using organic soil. Shouldn't there be organic food in there for my dragon fruits to feed on? Yes, but it doesn't last forever. As you're watering your soil, it's just gonna keep washing all of that nutrients out, and then over time it decomposes, so that way none of those organic nutrients is gonna be in there anymore. So it's very important that you guys keep a very strict fertilizing routine, so that way your dragon fruit has constant food to feed on, and in return they're just gonna be very happy. You're not gonna see them wilt, and their branches will never thin out. They'll stay thick even after fruiting, you guys. That's like a common thing that happens to people is they'll see that they have all these flowers and these fruits starts to form, but the branches start to get very thin and deplete. It's because there's not enough energy in the plant to begin with to even have the fruit. So they're just using the reserve energies that they have in there. So once you guys do this, it's gonna keep them very happy. Everything's gonna be very plumped, and your soil is just gonna be alive, and it's gonna be very happy in return. The third thing I do with the Fox Farm soil is don't overwater. This can be so easily overlooked at you guys because you believe that it's so hot in there and you guys would want to water them more naturally. That's just how we are. We see that it's so hot. We think our dragon fruit pots needs more water. We go out there and when we just overwater. And what this does with with the Fox Farm soil is they retain the moisture a little too well. So if you adding too much water in there, it will start to suffocate the roots, and what that happens is you're gonna get stem rot, and that is every dragon fruit grower's worst enemy. And like I said, it's a very common mistake that happens with beginners. They don't know a watering schedule yet, and they don't let the soil dry all the way back before they start watering, and then in return you're gonna get sick branches. They will actually start to have cactus rust, and that's signs of them getting sick because of the roots suffocating. So that's a very, very important thing that I do, and I try not to overwater. Even though it's summertime, don't do it, you guys. Make sure that the soil always dry back before you guys water them again. The fourth thing I do, you guys, is top dressing the pots. As I've already said in the beginning, over time, all of this soil, because it's so organic, it decomposes and it starts to go down in soil level. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna come here. Sometimes the roots get so compact, and as you guys saw, I'm trying to push my finger in here. You can feel the roots all compact to the top. What I like to do is add maybe 1 or 2 scoops of some Fox Farm. I usually use Ocean Forest, but I got some Happy Frog now, so I'm just gonna use that. And I just add it to the top. What this does is it's gonna help the roots from burning because they're grown to the top. And when the sun gets really hot, those roots that are on the top will actually get heat damage. So you don't want that. You wanna add a little layer of topsoil, so that way it keeps them cool. And if they need to, they can grow into the topsoil. And the soil actually has some organic nutrients in it too. So it's kind of like both a win for you. You're getting the roots to be protected because over time the soil decompresses, and you also get the nutrients that's in the soil to go into the roots, and they have some extra food to feed on. Number 5, the last thing I do with growing Fox Farm soil in the pot is I've noticed that leaving the pot in grass or soil helps so much. I used to grow them at my old house, Dragon Alley. They used to be all on concrete. One thing I noticed about concrete is the concrete gets very hot, and with Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil, they can actually dry back even faster, and when that happens, the pot gets really hot and it almost cooks the roots. So leaving them in soil or under grass will actually benefit them, because now if they wanted to, the roots will actually grow out of these holes and implant themselves into your native soil. And ever since I've moved to this new home, I've left them here for about a year now. Lots of my established dragon fruits here, my mature ones, started growing roots out of this pot and going into my soil, and it started to improve their quality of life. Before, they were so compact with the ocean forest, the Fox Farm ocean forest soil here, that they were just declining in health. It was so compact, there was nowhere else for the roots to go. And with the heat on the floor when I was growing on concrete, they were so afraid to even send roots out there because they would just get fried. It was just so hot. So the one thing I've noticed is if you're growing it with the Fox Farm soil, putting them in your native backyard soil here actually benefits them so much, because now the roots that used to be all compressed in there are actually now growing out of the water drainage hole and implanting themselves into your native soil, and they just start to grow aggressively all over again, because now roots, there's no space to compete with. They're just going in here and growing into your native soil. So I used to move these pots around to get around, but as you can see, this pot here is actually staggered a little up. When I moved here, I was so busy, I didn't get to go back in my backyard to adjust them the way I wanted to. So I kind of just left it here. By the time I was ready to go ahead and move this pot, I was trying to move it and I was like, it is stuck. And I realized that the roots has actually grown into my grass in my ground. So I was like, you know what? That is a good thing. There's established roots in here now. I'm not gonna mess with it. Aesthetically, it doesn't look nice to me, but I know health-wise for the plant, they are loving it and doing great. And those are the 5 things I do with my dragon fruits when growing in Fox Farm soil. And if you guys are growing in Fox Farm soil, I hope these tips help you guys. And if you guys have any other questions about growing in Fox Farm soil, leave it in the comments below. And if you guys have any other questions or content that I want to create, leave it down there as well. I read them, and if I can find out which one are the good ones to make videos, I'll definitely make that for you guys. All right, so if you guys find all of these tips helpful, hit that like button. And if you guys want to see more grafting and dragon fruit videos of mine, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.